Hey guys, I just wanted to come on here to let you guys know that we did pre-record this podcast a couple of days ago. And so this podcast was before the devastating news of George Floyd and the situation with Amy Cooper and all the craziness that's been happening this week in the world. And so we don't touch base on those topics. So just warning you guys that we will talk about that next week. And this was prior to all that. But enjoy the podcast. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, videographers or photographers, like, what kind of discount can you get me? Can you hook me up?
That, man.
Can you do that?
If you have someone doing your video shit, your photography,
and
your
they're
graphics,
your friend, pay them full fucking price.
Bro, they need money.
Yes. Welcome to the Drunkcast.
Welcome to the Drunkcast.
Let's cheers this.
All right.
Cheers to the Drunkcast. We started drinking like 2 hours ago, so to get a little tipsy, although I got a little bored because Harjit and Eric spent 2 hours to set up the podcast again.
We got Eric behind the camera as usual. Well, not as usual. It's the second time. But from now on, Eric will be behind the camera.
Some of you liked it. Some of you, I think one person was like,
oh my God, it's moving too much. Oh my God.
But there was a couple people that were like, oh, I love the movement and the cameras and stuff like that. So we're going to keep it.
Well, the thing is, as long as we like it.
Exactly.
That's all that matters. And I like having Eric here. It gives me an excuse to make him drive 30 minutes all the way over here to film this. But this is the first ever Drunkcast. Welcome. I'm Harjit, your lovely host. This is Jazz, your other host, also lovely.
Yeet.
And we've been drinking for the past couple hours. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff.
I made Harjit the girliest looking drink ever.
It tastes good, though.
For the purpose of this podcast.
It tastes really good. I'm down with it. But the thing is, when I drink it, the orange kind of falls onto my face. So I might just toss it into my drink, actually. What's popping, man?
What's popping?
People are going crazy.
People are going crazy?
People are going crazy, man. Listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
Trinity Bell Woods, Toronto.
Oh my God.
Have you heard about it?
Okay, so in our hometown, we're from Brampton and we're very close to Toronto. And there are people in Trinity Bell Woods, which is like a really big park, that are just chilling, hanging out, definitely not 6 feet apart. I've been seeing videos, I've been seeing stories, and I'm like, go home, put a mask on, chill out. It's not that serious.
10,000 people were at the park.
All you need is one person
to be there with Corona, and then everyone gets Corona. And I think it's crazy. I think like we've been quarantining for how long now? 3 months? 4 months?
Yeah, I think 4 months almost.
Almost 4 months?
I think it's been like 10 weeks.
And I can see why people are starting to lose their minds. But yo, relax, man. Listen, some people have old people living with them. Their parents are old, grandparents. And if they catch it and they're fine, they're going to give it to their goddamn grandpa and he's going to die.
Yeah.
And that's on you. That's on you.
It's a lot. Wear your mask, man. Wear your mask. Stay 6 feet apart. If you can stay home, you can stay home. Like, just stay home. And honestly, if you want to party, if you want to like chill out, enjoy the weather, do it in your backyard. Invite like 4 people over that you know that have been social distancing and chill with them. Like, I feel like that's okay. But going to a park where there's 10,000, like, that's a lot. That's a little too much.
That's too much. I feel like you're like overdoing it.
Yeah. Literally the only 2 people we've been seeing is our videographer who's behind this camera right now, Eric.
My boy.
And our assistant, Marie. And that's it. That's it. Like, we literally have not been seeing anyone else. I think one time our friends like kidnapped us and took us to watch the bioluminescence a couple weeks ago. But they were like, you can't get into our car without wearing a mask.
We're
like,
masked
they were
up,
very strict about it too, which was nice. So we were all wearing masks in the car at the beach, and it was great. And then that's it. Like, we didn't hug. We didn't even go close to each other.
Didn't touch.
It was amazing.
I accidentally gave our friend a high five.
Oh,
though,
yeah.
And that lingered in my mind for like 3 weeks. I'm like, that's it. My entire apartment is just covered in Corona. It's just filthy.
I think for us, it's a little... it's a little bit okay because
it's a bit more chill.
We also don't see any elderly people.
Yeah.
And we don't see anyone that's like super high risk.
Yeah. If we were at home, it'd be different.
Yeah, if I was at home, like my brother, he has not left my house. Like he lives with my dad who's 66, I think. Yeah, I'm really bad. My dad's like 66 and my grandma's 102 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So like he knows. He's like, I'm never leaving the house, and he's good with that. So I think it's like if I was at home, I would definitely wouldn't. But here I'm a little like, okay, I can go for a walk without my mask
And we also don't. Yeah, we don't see anyone.
because we don't see anybody.
We
Yeah.
don't run into any elderly people.
But
on a
besides
regular.
COVID, what's going on with you?
I'm kind of wavy. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
My tolerance isn't as
my tolerance
my
is
tolerance
shit.
isn't what it used to be. You know, in my younger days.
Even just from a year ago.
Even from a year ago, I could drink maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drinks and be like how I am right now.
We cut down our drinking a lot.
I'm only 2 drinks in.
Yeah.
I can't see jazz at all.
Yeah, we haven't been drinking a lot. The other day, we were filming a video, and then at the end, we took a shot of tequila, all 4 of us, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on? Where are we?"
I went from drunk to plastered like in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah, what else? What's new with you, Harjit Bandel?
I'm very happy
That's
about
good.
life. I feel like I'm doing things that I want to do, and I'm not afraid to say no to things that I don't want to do.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
You know when you're like just there, you're just on the come up,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, you know, you're on the wave, and you're like, fuck, this opportunity came up. It's not something that I like to do. It's not something that I want to do. But if I do it, it'll push me further.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it because you want to be further. But then you're not happy because you're like, yo, I wouldn't do this if my career wasn't at stake. I wouldn't do this normally.
I have like my opinions about that because like I do think you should do things if it pushes your career in a certain way. Like if you're like, this will definitely be really good for my career. If it's something that will turn your career into something that you don't want, then I agree that like maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But if it's like, this will help you. Are you listening to me?
I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened? What happened?
From the corner of my eye, I see. From the corner of my eye, I see Harjit like pulling up Leo's hair from the mic
It was distracting me.
while I was talking. But yeah. No, I feel like you should do things that maybe you're not comfortable with in order to get ahead. But like it depends on the situation. Like I don't think you should automatically say no to things just because you think you're at a point in your life where you could. I think you should definitely weigh the options and be like, okay, well, you know, maybe this is a good thing for me. Maybe, and I'm the complete opposite of you right now because this week I realized that I should be saying yes to everything. I should be saying yes to everything that comes my way, every opportunity that comes my way. Because even if it doesn't further my career, I think that if it could bring me new people in my life, bring me new opportunities in my life from doing that one thing, I think that's okay. And I think that I'm so opposite of you. I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I want to say yes to everything because I feel like there was a point in my life where I said no to a lot of things and I regret.
Like what?
Like there were some gigs that I got that I was like, oh, well, it doesn't match our brand or like whatever. Like I remember we got a lot of brand deals, and it's funny because it's like we got a lot of brand deals before that were like, oh, can you promote this alcohol brand? And it's funny because we're doing this drunk cast right now, and we said
a couple years later,
and we said no to those brands because we were like, oh, we don't know if we should promote that or whatever. We thought we had to fill this like, you know, this like persona, which we don't. And then there was like some gigs that I got that I said no to because I'm like, oh, well, if Harjit's not part of it, I can't be a part of it. Like I remember acting class. You didn't want to go.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you failed.
We're going to talk about Phil. We're going to talk about Phil.
Well, actually, okay.
Hold on. Want to talk about Phil?
Let me finish my story. Let me finish my story. Okay.
You want to put me on blast?
So basically, Harjit kind of made me feel a little bad about doing it by myself. Or maybe it wasn't you that made me feel bad.
I didn't make you feel bad.
But I think it was like in my head, I was like, oh no, like he can't continue the acting class So I shouldn't, because I passed. I was like, oh, I shouldn't continue it. But then in my head, I was like, oh, but I want to. And then like maybe a year later, I realized you weren't even interested in acting.
Yeah.
So like it was just like I should have said yes to it. So there was like a lot of things that I said no to that I should have said yes to, and it was because I was afraid of being a little uncomfortable or being or hurting someone's feelings or whatever it may be. So I feel like I'm in the opposite of you, where I'm like I should be saying yes to things.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I failed by 1 mark.
Yeah, you did. It was really stupid.
It's literally like when you're in high school and your teacher gives you a 49 instead of that 50. That's literally what happened.
And I think I got a 51. Like it wasn't even like I was like this genius actress. Like I passed by 2 marks.
Like I got a 49, she got 51.
Yeah,
I'm like
it was stupid.
What? Come on now. Just I thought if you're gonna give me a 49, just give me a 40.
Yeah.
Just so I don't feel like you robbed me.
Yeah.
You know, at that point. But I feel like what we're saying comes down to just doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just doing, like, if you want to do something, then do it.
Yeah.
Like, challenge yourself. Be like, are you sure it's not you?
I think it's also like, yeah, it might not be you, but it does it because I'm reading a lot of. I think it's because I'm reading a lot of books about being uncomfortable and how you should be uncomfortable. If you're not being uncomfortable, that means you're not pushing yourself forward.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you're staying in this comfortable zone, you're basically robbing yourself of opportunities and growth.
Okay.
Because you're not growing yourself as a person. So I think that's why we differ, because I want to grow. You know what I mean?
So I don't want to grow.
Yeah, you don't. This is your issue right now, is that you don't feel comfortable, and you have this belief that it's okay to say no to things not because it's not worth your time, because you don't feel comfortable in that situation. And you're thinking in your head that it's not worth your time, but really it's because you don't feel comfortable in that situation.
I disagree.
Okay.
But I think we're talking about 2 different things here.
Okay.
Because talking on a microphone makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But I do it because
the $50 we get every 3 months.
I literally make nothing here. And talking is something that I do not like.
Okay.
I like to be silent. So I do things that make me uncomfortable, but there's certain things where, like, based on what your career is, sometimes there's a blueprint set out from the past.
Yes.
Where, like, to get to certain places, you have to do certain things. And I feel like I'm at a point where I want to create my own path.
Mm-hmm.
And if I
think that's cool.
I don't need to do
that.
things that other people did just because they did them to get to where they are.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that for sure.
I feel like we might be disagreeing
on different things.
Here.
Okay, cool. Next topic.
but I just want to say I completely agree with, like, checking yourself and be like, am I doing this because I'm just afraid?
Yeah.
Or no, wait, am I not doing this because I'm afraid, or am I not doing this because I just don't fuck with it? You know? Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right then. Cheers.
All right then. Cheers. Oh wow, I didn't realize how much I drink.
I drink more when I'm talking because I'm like low-key nervous all the time.
Yo, I realize that. So I'm on like a lot of Zoom meetings lately, because what else are you gonna do? So I realize in my classes that I do, I will finish a beverage in like literally 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so nervous that like in between I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And so I'm like, haha, yeah. Haha.
It's like you take that drink hoping that someone else starts a new conversation. I do that in person. So at parties I get extra drunk.
Yeah.
Cause like we're in a circle of like 4 people. And I'm just like drinking. I'm like, save me. Please, someone say something.
That happens to me all the time. I'm just like talking and I'll be like, I'll take a sip and I'll take another sip and I'll take it. And then like in between like every sentence, I like take a sip. I don't realize I'm doing it. But I realized I was doing it because you see yourself on Zoom. And then I'm like, wow, I'm drinking a lot.
It's like this thing that like, so then someone can't call you out for not talking.
Yeah.
Because you're drinking something. We're pretty much introverts.
Yeah, I'm an extrovert-introvert. I'm an extrovert by choice.
You're an extrovert because you need to be? Or are you an extrovert naturally?
I'm an extrovert, and I think we're both this way. I think we're both extroverts in certain situations. I noticed that because I remember a couple years ago, I was hanging out with a group of people. I think it was last Christmas. I was invited to a Christmas party, and I was hanging out with a group of people that I wasn't very comfortable with, but they were all best friends. But like I didn't really, really know them. And I could feel myself like slowly not getting the inside joke. So I was like slowly like going into my shell, like more and more and more. And then, so like in group situations where, you know what it is? I figured it out.
Figured it out just now?
In group situations where there's like somebody that's more extroverted than I am such an introvert. It's so weird. If someone's way more like attention seeking than I am, as an Aries, I'm very attention seeking. So if someone's more attention seeking than I am, and they're like they are the one that runs the show, I turn into a fucking hermit crab. I do not talk. I just sit there quietly.
Flip the switch?
I just flip the switch.
Is it because you want to be like, you know what? I don't even want the attention.
Yeah.
I want a next wavelength right now. Like, I don't need that.
Cool for this shit.
I don't need that shit. I don't need none of that. You can have that. Let me know when you're here where I am. I'm up here.
Exactly. In Zen.
Because Jazz is the type that like when something's extremely popular, Jazz will purposely not like it.
I will not like it. Yeah.
Jazz does not want to follow the trend. So she has not watched a single Harry Potter.
I am the most non-conformist person you'll ever meet. I will not conform.
Harry Potter is dope though. You're sleeping.
I know.
You're sleeping. Extremely popular, also dope. But in the same way, I didn't watch Game of Thrones because of how popular it was.
Yeah, I didn't watch Game of Thrones either.
If I didn't watch Breaking Bad when I watched Breaking Bad,
same.
If I watched it,
I watched it before it became popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're hipsters. That's what we are.
Hipsters.
We're hipsters.
Well, like we don't need that, we have all these shows that you don't know about.
We were on this before you even thought about it. Before it even crossed your mind.
You got Breaking Bad season 4? Come on. I was on Breaking Bad when they were scripting.
Yep.
When they were still writing the shit. I was on.
Before they came up with a title.
When I was there, it was just breaking. There was no bad.
There was no bad. Yeah.
What were we talking about? No, you're talking about when you're in a group.
Oh, yeah, when I'm in a group. Yeah, but then if I host a party or if I'm like, if nobody else is like extroverted in the group, I will become literally the life of the party. 100%. I will be the life party. I will show all my little skills that I have. I will sing for them. I will throw in a comedy act. I will do whatever I can to entertain. But if somebody else will do the job, I will turn into hermit crab. It's weird. It's like
so funny.
It's on and off. There's no in between. It's interesting.
What do you prefer to be? With no other if there was no other influences from like what you do.
You know what? Friends? I think if I'm in a social situation, I definitely would love to be life of the party, because when I'm not, I get into this really anxious state where I'm like, oh, people think I'm crazy. People, what are they thinking of me? What do they think of me? And I have like a panic attack, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not cool. I'm super lame.
I'm lame.
I'm a loser.
Do you think you do what you do because you like attention?
Maybe. I don't know.
Like deep down inside?
I think as a youngest child, I've always wanted attention, and I've always rebelled for attention. So I think, I think the way I grew up, I've never gotten attention that I deserved. So I was like always seeking attention. Yeah.
Do you think everyone in the entertainment field has like this gaping hole in their soul?
Probably.
That they just need this attention?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too.
I think I just have this need.
Yeah. Me and you don't want the attention. Me and you aren't like, oh, we want to get our picture taken. We want to be friends with this. We want to be on it. Because like I haven't posted on Instagram in so long. Like I don't care anymore. Like I don't care about the fame. I don't want to be famous.
Yeah.
I just want to create art. I want to make people laugh. I want to change people. I want to show brown girls that you can do things, and marriage isn't the end all be all. Like I have like goals that are like, that include me being a voice, but I don't want to be famous.
So it doesn't bug you when something doesn't do what it's supposed to do?
It depends. So for me, like, for example, YouTube, right? When we release a video, I don't care so much about the views. I care about the comments. So if the comments don't say what I want them to say, like if people don't feel the way I want them to feel, then I feel like I failed. And that has nothing to do
And
with
then
fame.
it could have 1 million views or 10.
It can have 1 million views or 10, but it's about the comments.
Mm-hmm.
And if the comments aren't like, oh my God, this shit was amazing. This was amazing. I love how you did this. I love how you did that. I care about that one person that's like, this shit saved my life. Yo, you're right. Yo, I believe you. Yo, that's great. Like I really think, and you made me think about this. Like, wow, that opened my mind. Like I want people to say that shit. And when they don't, that's when it fucks me up.
But you just got here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just got here.
Yeah.
Because before, if something was supposed to get 1 million, but it got 950,
because it's a
my
blueprint.
day is fucking ruined.
It was a blueprint we thought we had to go through. Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm more on like I care more about what people are saying rather than how many people are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that's what really matters, and I want to impact people.
By the way, speaking of that, we just released a really cool short film
Facts.
on our main channel, so go check that out.
It's called The Quarantine Love Story.
Quarantine Love Story.
We spent like 4 or 5 days filming it.
It was a lot. It was a lot of 9-hour shoots. Right.
My boy Eric behind the camera killed the game.
Killed the game.
We used his camera so much his camera broke. Now it's in the repair shop. It's great. Go watch it. But what were we talking about?
I don't know.
Now I'm gonna take a drink to fill in the gap. I was watching Patriot Act and a funny topic was brought up. Take in how there was Skype, right? For all these years, there was Skype.
Yep.
And then this is their moment to shine.
Oh, yeah.
They have 15 years head start. And then quarantine comes along and now everyone's on Zoom.
Yep.
How's that happen?
Zoom, house party, Instagram now. Skype
was putting in work.
Clearly not enough.
I find that so sad.
I know.
Rest in peace, Skype. You know?
Right? I actually forgot about Skype until you
That's what I'm saying.
that.
I'm saying.
Yeah, we would have Skype meetings all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore.
No, nope.
I'm a Zoom man now.
I'm a Zoom man.
I'm Zooming
all the time.
But you know what's funny? People still use Skype as like the term. Like, yo, let's Skype. And then they hop on Zoom now.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, yo, Skype me after.
Yeah.
House party. On Skype. It's crazy. Just a thought. Jimmy Fallon got canceled though, so let's talk about that. How you feel?
I don't know the terms of it all.
So pretty much he did blackface 20 years ago on SNL.
Okay.
First thought is blackface is wrong.
Blackface is wrong. Yes.
Obviously.
This was, first of all, 2000, and he was doing it for SNL. So he didn't write the sketch, probably. Even if he did, he had to get it approved by Lorne Michaels.
By everyone under Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, by Lorne Michaels and all of the SNL team. Okay, so there's that, right? So there's the SNL team plus Lorne Michaels who all said yes. I must say that's like at least 25 people that said yes to the sketch that's going to go live in 2000 of him, going blackface. And then the makeup artist and then all this stuff. So it wasn't probably even his idea. Also, like, fuck off. Like, this was 2000. You know what I mean?
Right.
People didn't know any better. Like, we evolve. And that's the great thing about society is that we evolve and we should be apologetic about it. And we should be forgiving about it. And we should be like, oh, you know what? This happened. Oh, but this happened in 2000. Like, that wasn't like people were still learning about racism then.
Are we also going to cancel everyone that laughed at that sketch?
Yeah.
So everyone up until 2 days ago, are all those people also canceled?
Because racism evolves. We get better each and every second of the day. And I think it's okay to make mistakes and like it's okay to be forgiving of people that made mistakes and maybe be like, oh man, yeah, he did this, but it's fine. Like we know that it's better and he hasn't done this for 20 years. Like I think that it's just if people do something now like that, I think it's unforgiving and maybe it's like, okay, you know better, buddy. Yeah.
If they do it today, then yes, like come on.
Stop.
20 years though?
This is how mental health exists. Like this is why like people killed themselves and this is why people get depressed is because things of like things like this of like people just making a big deal of stuff that happened when they were even born.
Yeah, like chill out, man. If you've seen some of the shit I said 10 years ago, bro, come on. Like, it's wild.
Even when we were in high school, Like the vocabulary then was a lot different than the vocabulary now, and that's just life. And we evolved and changed, and we don't say it anymore. But it's stuff that like we said back in high school or back when we were little, and like that's how it is. It's people evolve, and that's how evolution is.
We've all said things that today are not politically correct to say. You know,
100%.
I'm not gonna say the things that we've all said many times, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, so let's relax.
Yeah.
And you guys still couldn't cancel Trump. So what's the point?
I know.
After all of this, you could not stop Trump from becoming president. So what's the point?
What's the point?
Why are we here? Why are we talking about this? The one thing that mattered you couldn't do. So your whole cancel culture team can fuck off.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sorry. But drink my beer in peace, man. Got me heated.
You warned me. You were like, you're going to drink all your drink.
I told
before
you.
the podcast.
I told Jazz before the podcast, make sure you have your refill on the side. Her glass is empty. I just cracked open my beer.
We're thinking about starting a Patreon.
Yes, sir. Some of the tiers we're thinking of. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a place where you can support the podcast financially. And in return, we offer bonus episodes. We're thinking merch discount codes. We have merch coming out soon. The ability to suggest topics that we talk about. Patreon exclusive Q&A. So we're going to announce that officially next week.
Yes. So let us know if you're interested in the comments.
Yes, sir.
But yeah.
Well, what else though? Do you have anything else that you want to get off your chest?
I'm trying to think. Oh, so
yeah, go ahead.
The supporting friends.
I was just about to say.
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
Support your motherfucking friends.
I feel like Jazz about to go off, so I'm gonna just drink my beer.
I'm prepared for this. Okay. So if your friends are, they open a business, which a lot of people do. They have a business, they have for example, for us, they have a YouTube channel.
They have a music career.
They're doing something.
They're an amazing videographer, cinematographer, DP. Eric over here.
I think it's very important to support your friends.
Facts.
Share their shit. Like their shit.
Yes.
So, like, okay. I'm
gonna stop ad-libbing you. I'm sorry. Continue.
This is my thing. Okay, so we just released this great ass fucking video, right? And it's fucking amazing. And a lot of our friends didn't share it. But they messaged us personally and they were like, this is dope. That's it. That was all we got, right? I think if you think something's dope, I think you should share it. And I think it's really important to support your friends versus supporting these celebrities and these people that have already made it. I see people sharing, oh, Drake just released an album. Like, this person just released this. This person just made this video because you're a fan of them. But then there's your friends who are struggling that aren't like, so popular, but they just made this amazing thing that you messaged them secretly and you're like, oh, this is dope, but then you don't share it. You know what I mean? And I feel like in such a social media culture and influencer culture that we're in right now, where we're like all on social media, I think it's so important to support your friends.
It's crazy how people will show you love after strangers show you love.
The fact that a lot of people actually message us and were like, oh my God, this was amazing. That also meant a lot.
That was great. Yeah.
That was great. There's a lot of people that just liked the video, that just commented. But there's like the people that like actually, like Danny called us as soon as, like, that's different. Danny called us as soon as we dropped it and he was like, that was fucking amazing. And that meant a lot to us. So it's just like support your friends. And it's like in any way possible, like buy something they're selling from their business. If they have a business, and like, don't be like, oh, can you do this shit for free? Like, it's your friend, like, pay them. I know a lot of people who are like videographers or photographers, like, what kind of discount can you get me? Can you hook me up?
That, man.
Can you do that?
If you have someone doing your video shit, your photography,
and
your
they're
graphics,
your friend, pay them fucking price.
Bro, they need money.
Yes.
How the fuck are they gonna survive? What the fuck? Jesus, you're making all this money, or like, if you're making anything, or if your career is progressing, if something's happening for you, that's progressing you in any kind of way, your friend needs to be compensated. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I hate when people like reel people in and make them do shit for free, and then they don't ever get anything out of it. You know, people
even
need
like
to survive.
even like the whole like influencer stuff. Like I know a lot of people who are like, oh, I'll just tag you. It's fine.
Don't talk to me. Do not fucking talk to me.
How about you pay them and don't take them?
You pay
I
them.
feel like that will pay their rent more than you taking them. I'm sorry, but like
Right?
that's the truth.
I hate when people get taken advantage of. It bugs me. Like hold it down. Buy your people food.
Even like
pay them.
if I go to like a restaurant, sometimes this happens to me in Harjit. Like we'll go to a restaurant and they'll hook it up. They'll be like, "Oh, I watch you on YouTube. Like, let me hook you guys up." I will fucking give the biggest tip possible.
I give a giant tip.
Because like no, like you shouldn't be hooking me up. Like that's great. That's amazing. That makes me feel really good. But also you deserve that extra tip. You deserve that money. Like you deserve it.
The amount I saved because of you, you deserve to have that in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know? People
support your friends over the people that you think that
Drake doesn't need your fucking support.
Drake doesn't need your money.
Drake does not need your support, man. He's chilling. He dropped 2C Slide. It wasn't that good. Number one.
Yeah.
Like, come on. He doesn't need you. Support your boy that has no fans.
Exactly.
Fuck, man.
That's how I feel.
I get passionate, man. Drake doesn't need you. I'm sorry. But I was listening to Drake before his name was even Drake. You know, he was Aubrey back then.
He was never Aubrey.
I was making a reference to our past joke. To our previous joke.
Because we were watching Drake on Degrassi. Did you watch Degrassi?
Nah, man.
Oh man, I watched Degrassi.
I didn't.
I saw fucking Aubrey Graham get shot.
Was it Wheelchair Jim?
Wheelchair Jimmy, yeah.
Wheelchair Jimmy.
I knew him before Wheelchair Jimmy.
So if you're out here listening to Drake, don't even.
I love watching Drake videos because he's always telling his little like servant to get him drinks. He's like, "One more drink, please."
But he said this so politely.
Yeah. He's like, "Yo, man, can you just can you give me another drink, please?"
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
That'd be great, right? You want some of my Chalk Top? Have some.
Maybe.
It tastes great.
Thanks.
Have it.
I introduced you to it.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. It was all you.
You were reluctant to get it.
Was I reluctant? You used reluctant twice today.
Yep.
In this podcast.
It's word of the day.
Are you proud?
Webster's Dictionary. I have it on my phone.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should have a little stand beside Eric, like that kind of like just like does one of these. So like when we refer to him, he can say he can say something.
Yeah,
you know,
you're right.
he can. Or I say he has like a really like hot take on a topic. He can just.
I don't know.
Chime
Eric
in.
laughs a lot during the podcast, though. So like during the podcast, you'll hear like giggles all the time.
But the thing is, it's on a different track.
Oh, true.
We can cut it out.
Just delete it. Facts. Eric's behind me, like.
Yeah. Eric's like, that's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that next time. I feel that'd be cool.
Yep. Somebody said, "How do you?" Okay, so I don't look up these questions before they're on. Like we have somebody else picking these questions. So this is my first time reading this, but someone said, "How do I feel about gay people?"
What the fuck?
That is the worst question I've ever been asked.
How do you feel about straight people? Nothing. I don't feel anything.
Literally, gay people, straight people.
It's a human
person.
The person.
That's how I feel about them. They're a person.
I feel no ways. I have a gay friend that I think he's a cool person.
Yeah.
Every other gay person, I feel nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know you yet.
Yeah. It depends on your personality.
It
like,
depends. I don't know
are
you.
you dope or are you not dope? Like that has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. I think.
Because you can be gay and be a great person.
I think
you can be gay and not be a great person. I don't know.
I think this goes back to the whole religion thing. I think religion has a lot to do with people's sexual orientation, how they think they should be based on God, and I think that's bullshit. And I think that's up to you. And I think if you feel a certain way, if you love a certain person, I think that's completely up to you. Everyone feels a certain way towards somebody, and I think it has to do with that person. I don't think it has a lot to do with gender.
It's what's around you.
Yeah, it's your external factors.
Like it's like the older head teaching you that. You know, it's that older person in your life that teaches you that this kind of person is weird.
This is
or
wrong.
Like not accepted or it's wrong.
Yeah.
And that gets passed down.
I think being
Until
gay is
someone-
normal.
I think it's completely fucking normal.
Yeah.
And I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You know, like as something that's wrong, or like as something that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a weird question. I think that
Jeez.
it's like completely normal. And I think that that's also a private thing. Like, it's like, I don't talk about mine and Harjit's sex openly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
And I
like,
don't think that, like, I don't know. I think it's just like, so it's none of your business. So you shouldn't have an opinion on it.
the opinion should be on the person,
Yeah.
right?
It's like, are you a good person or are you a bad person? That's all that should matter.
That's
not
about-
your sexual orientation.
That's like judging a person based upon, well, like if you like Tekashi 6ix9ine, then I'm judging you off top. But that's like judging someone based upon the taste of music. Like, come on,
There we go.
you know?
Do you think everyone needs a degree in this generation? We didn't get a lot of questions last week, basically.
So that's the last one.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a degree unless your career depends on it.
Do whatever the fuck you want, man.
Do whatever the fuck you want, you know?
Form your own opinions. And I think that's the most important thing.
If you can do something without the degree,
I think if we can influence somebody in some way, I think it's to influence you to form your own fucking
the
opinion.
influences do whatever the fuck you want.
Internet exists. Look at it. Look at all the facts about everything, and then form your own opinion. Don't
But
do
yo,
what we think.
If I go get this degree, these are the pros. These are the cons. What weighs more?
Exactly.
That's it.
Yep. Also, the internet is free, and you can look anything up on it. So just remember that too.
Exactly. You know?
But anyways, I think that we can end the podcast here.
Do what you want.
Okay.
No, that was my answer to the question.
Oh, okay. Yes, do what you want. Do whatever you want. Don't listen to us. Don't fucking listen to influencers, okay? Make your.
I'm
your
not
own
no
opinion.
independent. Don't call me an influencer.
Every time I'm on a Skype meeting, they always call me a fucking influencer. I'm like, if people want to be influenced by me, go ahead. But I'm a fucking.
I'm
shit
sorry that my
show.
influence is so daunting to you.
Yeah.
That you have to call me that, but I am not an influencer. I am
A creative.
an artist.
Yes. Anyways.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Thank you. Good night. We
Yo,
love you.
we love you.
Let us
1
know if you
hour.
want to do another drunk cast. I don't even know what we talked about.
If you enjoy the drunk cast, we'll do them all drunk casted. All right, peace.